Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Europa Universalis for England. What? Cheerio. Oh, where we last left off. Conveniently, the game took me right where I wanted to go. We got some of India back. So, yeah, right on. Really, other than Scotland, we're looking pretty much complete, or if not a little bit bigger, than we were before the start of this century. It really hasn't been a good 67 some odd years for Great Britain, but you know what? We're turning over a new leaf, and it looks like, unfortunately, we're not able to push any further into North America. I was hoping we might be able to take Saskatchewan here, or Asanan, even Bungi, but no, we can't. That's too bad. So sad. Can we maybe snipe Miwok? Nope. Too inhospitable to be permanently settled. Thumbs down, game. Thumbs down. I can't believe the Inca are still around. You're what, a little 3-province minor. You're making nothing but gold. So well done, Inca. You guys are probably rolling in the cash. And are also probably marked for death by the Dutch. Anyway, let's unpause the game and let's get this thing started, shall we? I think that sounds like a great idea. So really, we need to integrate these lands. Also, what we probably need to do is, if we take a look, just knock down our military a little bit. We'll actually go back to that screen. 163 out of 160 for ships. It's okay. We could even probably push it up a bit more. 131 out of 94. It's a bit ridiculous for, military strength. So we're going to get rid of one of these armies we used to invade India with, which probably isn't, necessarily the best idea, because I wouldn't mind pushing into India with more units. So, perhaps we could look at dropping down the African forces, but no, not really. We're going to need them for going to war with Mali. And then we've got the Royal Army, which honestly, I don't want to touch. I like having a stack of 46,000 troops on the home islands just in case those dastardly Spanish show up again. Or the French, or anyone else really lands on the island and are like, hey, we're taking it. Thankfully, Austria joined us. And so we've got a fairly good counter against Spain, especially in Italy. And once the Royal Marines return to Crete, and actually that is something I should probably do first off. So that is definitely the Mediterranean squadron. Let's find the Marines. There they are. Go get them. Right. There we go. Yeah, once we get the Royal Marines back on Crete, if for whatever reason we need to go to war again with whoever, that's the Indian fleet. So actually what we could do, we've got a couple of light ships here. So why don't we just protect trade in the Cormoran Cape, which is where exactly? What are we looking at here? Ceylon? Ceylon. There we go. Let's observe the differences in trade power. We have a whopping 20 and Portugal has 189. So we could even look to getting a bit more of a trade fleet going in India. And I don't even know if that would be anywhere near worth it. We're going to need... Yeah, what we'll do is we'll take no leaders here. Well, no. Indecisiveness. Clinton is definitely going to be leading the Royal Marines. That much is for certain. Because, well, he's the best leader we've got. So we'll put Dampier there in charge of the Army of India. I'm going to keep the Army of Scotland. I really don't have any sort of ability to lessen either of my troop forces. I know if I do it in Africa, the Spanish are just going to come and, wipe out what little force we have. They've got 23,000 troops here. I can't leave 13 or 12,000 troops behind to defend. I can't continue with, well, I certainly can't continue paying my army that much, but I can't continue with an army that high. And that is a lot. That is a lot of soldiers we need to get rid of. And I really don't want to get rid of that. I guess I could get rid of the cavalry. I don't really know if I need them, which sounds ridiculous. Maybe what we'll do is we'll split this force, and then we'll take the first army here, and we can demolish them. So that'll save us a bit of coin. Yeah, that actually is going to save us a lot of coin. And then what we can do is we can take the Royal Marines and split them in half as well. And then if we have to, we can always augment the forces somehow. Unfortunately, the Army of Scotland and the Royal Marines are a little bit too far apart. Although we know we're always going to have a tech advantage against the Indians. So, especially if we... No, I kind of want to keep all those guys. Well, we don't actually need a leader there right now, so we can get rid of him. But these two guys, I mean, they're good leaders. I don't necessarily want to get rid of those guys. So, yeah. What are you doing? Oh, you're the Did I send... I did, didn't I? Yep. Alright. Turn around. Drop those guys off, and then the Indian fleet can... Oh, you're gonna go that way, aren't you? Okay, go this way. Like... Although, actually, you know what? You know what we can do? Because the Indian fleet needs to go back, and the Mediterranean fleet needs to come down here anyway, we'll just go to Port Ivory here. Drop these guys off. And then actually get the correct fleet to pick them up. That is some good time-saving thinking there, if I do say so myself. So we'll just send you like so. Yeah, that works. I'm totally fine with that route. Just as long as you don't go all the way up around the Persian Gulf in India. That's... I mean, granted, it's probably a very beautiful voyage, and there's a lot of great scenery to see on the way. While I'm thinking about this, we will take that. And the other guy... Oh, right, because those guys had 6, didn't they? So what have we got here? We have 7 and 3 and 7 and 3, so we can get rid of the first army. There we go. And then now, we're pretty much even. So there we go. We're making a little bit of money, and now we're making a little bit more money, which is important because we have a loan to pay off. That's fine. They can continue doing whatever they're going to do there, but we've got a nice little chunk of Africa now, and Mali is just going to add to it, really. We do have declare war. They are allied with the Ottomans, Spain, and Bengal. They are subject to Portugal. So maybe we won't go to war with them. Maybe that would be a bad idea. What about Oyo here? What about this guy? Protectorate of Spain, huh? Ooh, hello. You don't have anybody. You don't have anybody protecting you. Now, we're not exactly going to... Too technologically advanced? How ridiculous. Oh, that was mine too, wasn't it? Yeah, well, that's... Congo. Protectorate of the Netherlands. Blast! Blast and damn, we've missed out. What about you guys? Allied with Spain, and obviously I'm not going to be able to put up a protectorate around the Ottomans, but perhaps no, these guys are they're just too technologically advanced, although we could make allies with them. Something to consider. Perhaps Persia. In a coalition against the Ottomans. Well, we're allied with Austria. We don't need any of these little minor nations to be friends with us. Protectorate of Spain. You're not a protectorate of anybody, but I would imagine your opinion of me is not that great. So, what we're going to do is relations. We've got a spare diplomat kicking around. I do believe we do. So we're just going to improve relations with you. Perhaps we can get them as a protectorate, which would be pretty cool. Though maybe this would have been a better bet. Don't know, really. What I will do, though, is recall my diplomat from Austria. Thank you, Christopher. You've done a great job. The Austro-British alliance. A mighty alliance indeed. And certainly a threat to both France and Spain, which is good. And I don't have to rely on the Muscovites. Not that I really, disliked relying on the Muscovites. They were great. But, an alliance offer from them. Yeah, I mean, sure, let's do that. That was quick. It's hardly any time. I didn't even think you made it there yet. But hey, all right. I'm all about that. Because now I imagine we could do this. Yay! Then recalling him might be a bit tricky, but they are a protectorate of mine now, so job well done. We should be getting some amount of cash? Perhaps not, because the Iroquois are a protectorate as well, and yeah, we're not getting any money from them, so we're not getting any money from these guys, but they are friendly, and I guess they're adding trade power, which is good. Because now we're third. The unfortunate thing is, it's really just getting shipped out, right? And it's just getting shipped out to ports that we're not collecting from. Because I believe, if I remember correctly, we do have our trade guy here, but a lot of the trade is getting shipped out because we don't have a trade fleet there. We'll leave it. Don't want to be destabilizing the Empire at any time. And I would imagine the Mediterranean fleet would be coming back soon. Well, it looks like we're at war with someone in Spain. Yatenga is an uprising. That's fine. Castilian Louisianian Purge of Newfoundland Heresy. Wow, that is a mouthful. But that's okay. What we are going to need to do is increase that and then raise some more taxes. And then we're going to go to our good friends in Austria, and we don't have any freaking diplomats available. We got to wait 81 days. Whew, by that time. I guess we can. And they've honored it. Excellent. Okay, so with Austria on our side now, I really am not scared about going to war with Spain. I don't even know why I'm looking over here. I do not believe I've got any sort of military presence whatsoever. This is all the colonies, and this is how I like it. This is why I lose out a lot on my African territories, because darn it, I don't like looking. It's frustrating. Well, it's not frustrating. It's just time consuming to have to worry about, looking over your shoulder all the time. We'll just take you off and allow you to rebuild yourself. Granted, we might be missing out on trade, but hey, screw it. We need it. We could get our fleet of 55 triple-deckers out and about, causing some issues for the Spanish, no doubt. And where is my... No, not the Royal Navy, the Mediterranean Squadron. Here! Why? Because I forgot to pick up the Marines. That's okay! Why? Because look at this! Look at this, it belongs to Spain that's just sitting here off the coast. That won't do! Delagoa Bay, what do you produce? Grain. Oh, that's really not worth taking, but it's worth sieging. That's for true. We've got that army together, which is good, so let's merge them together and send them this way, into Grain Coast. Because they've got ivory there, and you know what? This is kind of my region. Excuse me a moment. Delicious water. This is my region, damn it, and the Spanish should know this. The Spanish should realize that this land belongs to Spain, or this land doesn't belong to Spain. Belongs to England. Coromandel. Nationalist rebels? Well, that shouldn't be a problem, should it? No, it isn't. That's good. Okay. What I might do is combine the Army of Scotland with the Army of India, though, just so I've got them all together in a stack, and I should have no problems supporting them. Nope. Can support an army 3 times this size and still be doing just fine. Oh, and we do actually have a fleet out here now that I could use to great effect, taking some of these lands away from the Spanish. Definitely tempting. What have we got over here? We've got slaves and grain. Yeah, we've got a lot that we can do here. And I would imagine that my colonies are actually kicking ass over here, and it certainly appears that they are. Why would I imagine that? Because I like to think that my colonies are the best. And to be perfectly honest, it looks like they are actually the best at the moment. We've got a little small Castilian Louisianian army up here, but I mean, for the most part, that's going to go well. In fact, I'd like to try and take some more of these away from. I mean, Cuba's got a claim on a lot of these lands. Well, hopefully Cuba does something about that, because I'm not going to. But I do want to do something here. Although I guess I don't have the transports to be able to do that. And for right now, it's probably best to let those things just do as they will, and we'll worry about, you know, other things later. How many people are there? 1,000, and it's the same as here. Oh, 990 now. Slowly ticking down. That's what I like to see. And thankfully, Spain's war enthusiasm is low. And I mean, we're doing well this war. Things are going perfectly fine. We can see they've got 52,000 troops in Spain, so an actual invasion of the Spanish homeland is not on the books, at least not for us. Certainly is for Austria, though. I would be a-okay if Austria decided to do that. But they seem to be having a fun time just sieging Spanish Italy. So, you know, I'm not going to tell them to stop. They can go nuts. Spain shouldn't be there anyway. Do we need any advisors? Maybe some global trade power? But, you know, with our economy the way it is, you know, 150 years out of date, it's probably best not to be spending money on advisors. We've got a loan coming due anyway. We've got time to pay that off. That's not a concern. We got that. And it even looks like the Hansa have decided to join in on the fun. Now, that's a bit of a letdown. But if that's Spain's only real territory that they've been able to take, barring a little chunk of Newfoundland up there, then yeah, I think we're fine with that. We'll be able to return the favor by taking some of their Spanish territories here. I mean, that didn't take any time at all. And now we could. I'm thinking Benin. Actually, it's probably one of their older colonies and probably one of their most. One of their more economically good, rich. That's a 4-letter word I was looking for. One of their richer colonies. Plus it produces ivory. And everybody knows the ivory producers in this game, it's England. It's got to be England. Because that's what I've said. Alright, so they're making a bit of a comeback down here. I'm looking at you, British Mexico. Jonathan Blake, get your troops on the march and wipe those guys out, because you're certainly able to. Although really, the British, Isaac Northumberland here and his British Columbians are doing a very good job of it, so we don't need to worry about that too much. And yeah, I'm guessing, despite being an island nation, or a nation of a few islands, it doesn't look like British Cuba has a lot of ships. There we go. For some reason, my brain, it's slow today. Not sure what could be going on, but yeah, it's slow. Delagio Bay. Haha, take that, Spain. Oh, actually, what we can do this quicker, because it'll be quicker for the ships to land in a captured port. And then we can just use the handy-dandy, boop, attach a transport button. Because that's a good button to have. And we will head back up to... Oh no, that was mine. Yes, and it still is, technically. I mean, they're still English and Protestant, but nobody seems to be willing to revolt. So, thanks, guys. Nice to know you like being ruled by the Portuguese. Perhaps they've worked out some deal, you know, a little corner of Africa where they're still allowed to speak English and still allowed to practice their Anglican faith without much in the way of prosecution from, you know, the Catholic Portuguese that dominate the rest of the continent. I don't really think that's the case or what would be actually going on, but one never knows. Right, that's just rebellions, that's fine. What else have we got? We've got a port that's blockaded. Oh, hello, Spanish fleet. Aren't you cute over there? See, I don't even need to actually engage that. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, whatever. You know what? It's not like Spain can get there, so that's fine. We're only losing Republican tradition, gaining Liberty Desire, but really, our Liberty Desire isn't really all that high in any of our colonies. The highest one is in Newfoundland, and that's only at 35%. The 5 colonies is at a very minor 22%, and if for whatever reason these guys decided to go off and try and form the United States of America, this would be a very easy win, provided no other colonies joined in. So we don't have much to worry about there. Are my Marines up yet? Our country is going through an extensive social reorganization. Aristocratic lands are hugely being reduced, and promises have been made to lessen the peasants' burden. A consequence of the liberation of the serfs, who compose a large part of our population, is the hostile reaction of the nobles in our realm. Abolish serfdom. Wow, that's a lot of money that we could use. Yeah, I mean, legitimacy, we'll get that back in no time flat, and now we can repay this loan thanks to the emancipation of the serfs. And presumably, we're going to have people who are a lot happier to be in our nation. The province of Cochin is now considered part of our patrimony. Venad, Coromandel, Ceylon, and Conian. Huzzah! We have successfully claimed all the lands there. And then if I take a look at my mission, it is indeed achieve religious unity. So we are going to achieve that by doing this. We'll go there and we'll go there, and I think that's all I've got, and that should take hardly any time at all. So that's good. We'll get those guys converted, then we will get those guys converted, and bingo bango bongo, we've got religious unity at 100% again, which is good. So what we want, go take that chunk of land, would you? It feels nice to be able to turn the tides on the Spanish, I do have to say. It's feeling pretty good. And yeah, nobody's coming for Crete. So obviously nobody's coming for Crete. Spain has their hands full in the Mediterranean at the moment. Thank you, dear friends, Austria. In fact, thank you so much that that's really not worth it, is it? The amount of gold we'd have to give to Austria to actually make a dent would be a huge dent in our actual ability to do anything. How are we looking here? We're still 5 years ahead, so that's a change that I quite enjoy. And I think we're going to go with the standardized artillery just to get our land force limits modifier up by 1/3. So that's great news. This means that, yeah, now we need to get more troops, is basically what that means. I see you blockading my poor little Munster port, and I don't appreciate it. I really don't appreciate it. It's not nice, Spain. And, you know, it would be nice if you could just leave us alone. So where are you going, Spanish fleet? Finisterre Bay on the 19th of November. Yeah, we're not going to be able to catch you. Lucky bastards, but what we could do, we could certainly come down here. 2 can play this game now, Spain. Although perhaps down here would be a better bet. Those are really just trade ships down there, aren't they? And that's Ferreira. What are you? Oh, forced march. It's a good thing you marched all the way up there quickly, because we're going to confuse you. Man, I stand corrected. Spain has 104,000 troops guarding their homeland, which we can't, we'll do that. We can't really counter in any way, shape, or form. Now, let me just make sure our allies there are getting pounded to bits. But there are no Spanish heavy ships there, so let's move in and see if we can't assist. And it certainly looks like we can. Did we capture anything? No. No, we didn't. But, well, bam. Goodbye, Spanish merchant fleet. Hope you had fun. Let's go in and see if we can't assist anymore. And I should... Let me just make sure here. Ask for fleet basing rights, please. Thank you. Now we can... That's wonderful. Black news indeed, because we have William IV Lancaster, A243. And Frederick Willem, 234. Let's actually just take a look at this. And where is my heir? He's still a Lancaster, which is good. I don't necessarily need a Habsburg on the throne at the moment. Like I say, I'm not opposed to the idea, but really, if I don't have to, then I'm happy. And yeah, the Royal Marines are there, but where's... I'm guessing the Mediterranean fleet kind of just died. So that's going to make getting these guys out pretty awkward. Because I mean, I don't think... Well, you will give us military right or military access. What about you? You won't. So yeah, getting them up there, unless I can walk through the inner Congo here, which no, I cannot. Blast. Okay, well, we're going to have to remake the Mediterranean fleet. That's something I wasn't counting on, but I should have been thinking about. Let's go back and see if we can't sort of disrupt things going on in this trade node. Again, I imagine this is where Spain is going to be focusing most of her attention. And so if we can, you know, do some damage here, we're laughing. And are we taking any attrition damage? We are not. Of course, our fleet is not repairing, but none of these ships appear to be damaged enough to require any sort of fixing up, which is good. I'm pleased with that. We can just leave these guys here, happily blockading. Hopefully, too, well, just adding to the war score, and indeed it is. Spain doesn't necessarily want to continue fighting. We definitely do, though, so that's a good thing. Good. We got one more to convert, and then we'll be done that mission. Let me just check to see how things are going. Don't even know what I'm looking for, really. But things look fine. A little trip through the menus for everybody. Hope you all enjoy that. We'll do it again sometime. What do we got going on here? We have... more ivory. Quite. It's good to know. And then we'll have to do something to get these guys, you know, get these guys home. Probably involving the Indian fleet. So, actually, let's just go... Well, no, let's not send them and have them die while I'm not paying attention. We'll wait for that siege to be over, and then I'll send them into a port. So it doesn't matter if I forget about them, unless I forget about them after making a peace agreement. But we'll try to remember. I'll try to turn my brain on for a brief moment of time and actually remember what I'm doing. Siege of Karanakwa. Okay, that's not really a concern of mine. I probably wouldn't mind getting these guys 18 heavy ships, huh? I see the game you're playing. Well, we probably should send them home anyway. Blockading Spain is fun, but I am a bit nervous. Especially with 52,000 troops that I can't really see up in the north of Spain. Prefer to make sure that they're not coming into Great Britain. We've had our fill of Spanish armies marching around our island. Rather not have to put up with that crap anymore. Oh, what do we got there? 51 light ships. Safely in port, are you? It would actually might not be a bad idea to send the Royal Navy down there and go off and siege that so they'd be forced out and then killed. Just absolutely trounced. That's not a bad idea. I mean, why not? We can just have them chilling in the Gold Coast, waiting and hoping. And if we make it that far, and I remember, then hey, we've got 51 light Spanish ships that we are not going to have to worry about. Because I'm fairly confident 55 heavy ships should be able to take on 51 light ships. In my head, that makes sense. Admiral Hugh Proctor is dead. Oh, there's definitely going to be some kind of state funeral for that guy. Siege of Luanda, thank you. So now we need to get you out, which means the Indian fleet has to come back. And that's okay. Hell, even 80 light ships. After my experience there taking on the other Spanish fleet, granted, the Ferrerans really sort of softened them up, but we also, you know, demolished those light ships. So if we can, we can. Siege of Ida. Good. Let's just keep going down. No, not Calabar yet. I'm going to wait for my fleet to get into the region. Oh, and here they come. Look at that. Okay, so then maybe we will go Calabar now, and you guys can just go here. We should be getting supplies right out of Wida, because there's a little harbor there. And good news for us. Okay, Spain will cede the Grain Coast and Benin to Great Britain. Spain will end the vassalization of Oyo. Spain will release Sicily as a sovereign state. 19 prestige and 22.5 aggressive relations. I imagine the Austrians would probably prefer to get the Sicilian land. But getting the war score up high enough to do that is going to be grindy as all get out. So this might be the best way to do it. And we're going to actually effectively expand our African empire. Perhaps go in and then diplomatically start working on Oyo there. We should be able to pull that off. We'll just pull Benjamin out of improving relations with Aki there, and then send Christopher Benbow over to start making friends with these guys. Yeah, we'll take it. Sold. Spain. Okay, so we will send you back home. And we'll improve relations with you. That should get things going pretty quickly. We'll pull you back home because it's going to take you the better part of a year to make it. And now we need to start working on these lands, which we should be able to pull off. And actually, what I could do is take you there and then the other one send you there, just to make sure no Spanish forces decide that it's time to rise up against us. We can send the Royal Navy back home. And where is my Indian fleet? You're there. You're not going to be able to actually land there, but you can definitely go there and pick up the Marines. Drop them off on Crete, and then, how many are in there? It's just 10 now, isn't it? Yes, okay, so, although, with our new land force limits, we can bump those guys up. Which is something that I'm probably going to do. But the first thing we're going to need is 20 transport ships. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. That's good. So we'll get those transport ships up. And we can work on rebuilding the Mediterranean fleet later. And in fact, to really teach the Spanish a lesson, I could leave the Marine station there, but I'd like to get them back into Crete as quick as possible and have them set up on the fleet at a later date. That just makes me a happy panda. That does. We're getting all hot potatoes up in here, guys, because things are going well again. I'm back to thinking England is easy mode. The recovery we've been able to pull off here. And again, we're only 8th in the world. We're not, like, super good or anything like that. We're certainly not... score comparison. There we go. So, score. We're not anywhere near Spain, France, the Ottomans, Muscovy, Austria, Portugal, or Sweden even. But we're definitely a solid 8th. We're the 8th strongest power in the world, and the Netherlands aren't close to coming to us. But I'm doubtful about our ability to get past Sweden. I would do backflips if we got ahead of Sweden, because if we can get ahead of Sweden before the end of the game, getting ahead of Portugal is even easier. So we'll see what we're able to pull off. But, I mean, really, all things considered, things are going pretty well again. I'm less fed up with this game, which is good. We'll send you guys back to Western Europe. There we go. And I think this, with that wonderful victory over the stupid Spanish, is a good place to leave the video. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.